8:35 p.m. I received a small sample of 5-MeO DiPT in the mail today. In appearance, it is a clumpy tan powder, looking much like powdered dried honey. It has a connected to everything RMDA and cannabis.mp4 strong indole smell, and smells like AMT more than any other tryptamine. Having learned a few hard lessons, I decide to start out low with this one, even though I have read no real negative reports and everyone agrees it is more recreational than anything else. I weigh out 6 mg and put it in a gel cap, and prepare myself mentally for the ride. 8:45 p.m. 6 mg down the hatch. 8:55 p.m. I feel a slight alert. My body knows that something tryptamine is on the way. 9:09 p.m. Most definitely feeling something now. Very minor still. There is a warm flushing sensation, vaguely reminiscent of 5-MeO DMT. There is also something about this which reminds me of how psilocybin feels when coming on. I have the typical tryptamine tense, tingly feel in the back of my neck. Nothing negative so far. 9:20 p.m. Colors have the typical tryptamine brightness to them. I feel a strong tryptamine buzz that is rising in intensity. I am developing some jaw clenching like I would expect from MDMA. Odd. I don't think I've ever gotten this from a tryptamine. I have the yawns, which seems to be a common tryptamine come-on effect. I decide to move around my apartment and explore this new space that is taking shape. 9:45 p.m. Very interesting little tryptamine here. I'm quite far off baseline, but this is not tripping. I don't think a word exists for what this is. It is decidedly positive. There are mild visuals, like what one might expect from the 6th to 8th hour of an acid trip. Brightened colors, mostly. There seems to be almost no alteration in my mental state. I feel quite sober, just in a great mood. It is primarily a physical thing. The feel of a mild, clean acid trip without the mental rollercoaster ride. One strange effect is noticed with music. It sounds very boring and flat if you try to just sit and listen to it. But if you move in the slightest, even if it's just tapping your feet, the music suddenly sounds incredible. This stuff is very physical. I can see why so many people report this as an aphrodisiac, but I think it goes much deeper than this. I think pretty much any physical activity would be near orgasmic on this: sex, yoga, hiking, swimming. Anything which requires you to use your muscles. The feeling is somewhat similar to the come-down phase of 5-MeO DMT. But smoother, and without the prerequisite out-of-body hellride. 10:11 p.m. A very satisfactory experience. Still about at the same level. I called B, who was at a restaurant slightly tipsy from alcohol, and had a very nice conversation which felt very good on an emotional level which completely transcended any words which were spoken. I think that in the proper setting this could be a very empathogenic state. 10:45 p.m. T+2 o'clock. Wow. Things are winding down some, but I'm still in an amazing place. Very warm and cozy. Bright colors. Great glow. This stuff seems to have a serious mood elevation effect. I can't even conceive of being in a negative mood right now. This feels very much like the tailing end of an LSD experience. 12:45 a.m. I'm still a good amount off baseline. Feels like the come-down of a good, clean acid trip. I am very, very impressed. I called up C, who came over and sampled 6 mg himself. We watched TV for a while until he went home a little while ago. I decide to smooth out the tail end of the trip with some GHB. Nice way to spend an evening.